Today, we're going to treat your business like the masterpiece that it is. We're going to put together all the pieces from start to finish so you can see the whole game board and get you a strategy and a recipe so you can run this play and make your money. Okay, but first, my favorite part of the show, we're bringing in the Zoom. Here we go. Bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. There we go. What's up, y'all? Well, good morning, good evening, what it do? How are you? Hootie hoo. Happy Monday, too. I am the sound of money in your ear, Avant. That's D-O-O-O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, y'all, it is day 61 of this 100-day challenge, and it is 61 days. And the world has already changed in 2026. I told y'all it's going to be crazy. We haven't seen anything yet, by the way. But it's been 61 days since everybody, they didn't even drop the ball this year. You know, that's so weird. Okay, the weirdest thing I've seen online, somebody give me an explanation for this. I got scientists in the building. Somebody tell me what's going on with this. Okay, people are asking their Alexa or whatever. They're like, hey, Alexa, how many days from now till, Halloween? And it's like, whatever, 200 something days. It'll say, Alexa, how many days till, whatever day, Thanksgiving, 2026, and it'll tell them a date. Alexa, how many days from now till Christmas 2026? And it says, there are no Christmas holidays for 2026. I'm sorry, what? Can somebody make it make sense? Make it make sense. I don't know what to do with that information. But that's kind of stuff that's going on in these interwebs. Meanwhile, they're not bombing like, they are bombing bases and things like that. But they're also just like hotels and like commercial, like regular people airports in like major cities. Like, have you ever been to Dubai? Like some of these places, like you would just go for vacation. They're just like dropping missiles or whatever. Like, it's fine, but we got time to talk about T.I. them. I told y'all my T.I. story yesterday. So, great people. God bless them, the family and the ministry. However, we got other stuff to do instead of worried about what 50 Cent got going on. So in this space, in this place, I'm on a mission to make sure that everybody has the information that they need. I'm committed. I'm on a mission to help Black people escape the matrix. We're getting off the financial grid. We're not here to play these games. This is another crazy thing I saw online. People think this is cute. It stopped being cute at the end of 2024, y'all. It's not cute anymore. We still got people online. You know how, like, after the election, and everybody's like, well, I was part of the 92%, and I told y'all not to vote for that man, and this and that and the third. So now everybody's talking about, I'm resting. Okay, well, all right, question mark. I mean, we're not marching. I guess we're not protesting. That's fine. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I saw a video. Was that yesterday? Must have been yesterday. And he's like, yeah, no. They out here bombing, talking about we at war. Black man, of course, he in the bed with the covers pulled up to his neck. Talk about that ain't what that got to do with us. That ain't got nothing to do with us. They can go head on until the bomber plane is flying over my house. That don't have nothing to do. That ain't none of our business. We just go and talking about he rested. Y'all, and I said, you know what? I said, while I agree with the sentiment, that's the most dangerous take I've ever heard. Because we don't understand geopolitics. We don't know how to zoom out. We don't know how to read the stars. I'm sitting in the seat of the ancestors. I'm sitting here telling everybody, hey, listen, let's get some cash flow. Purchase some assets. What assets should I purchase? XRP and some other things that are not USD. I'm sitting here telling you that I sit on the board with some of these people who are actual literal billionaires, the kind you read about in magazines. I'm telling you that Warren Buffett, the Federal Reserve, and a few more responsible folks, as my mother would say, when I told y'all several months ago about the Japanese reverse carry trade, they all got out of USD and purchased yen because it's going to happen. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm going to put it on my Substack if you didn't hear that episode. But there's a global financial reset that's going on right now. It's happening right now. And everybody's talking about, oh, it don't matter with me as long as this and this. The little war that they got going on now, it's not that little. People already are losing their lives. But they start playing with the Strait of Hormuz, how do you say that? And y'all know we don't have no news outlets, right? So they may or may not even report what's really going on over there. But they close that strait and the oil prices spike. The Japanese reverse carry trade is going to begin, which means the crash of the people are going to pull all their money out of U.S. everything to hurry up and pay back their loans back to Japan, which is definitely 100% going to affect your money, the stock market, our consumer prices over here, the oil, the price of gas, and everything else. It's all connected. So we have to be the remnant. It's not going to be everybody. Everybody's not going to make it. I can't do nothing about that. I'm doing my job. I'm here to make sure 100 families get off the financial grid, get you some cash flow so you can purchase some assets. How about you have an infinite banking policy where you can borrow against the value of your XRP and real estate and other things that you got going on. Assets. We don't sell the assets. Keep the assets. Then you leverage said assets to fund your lifestyle. And then you use that money to move around, do what you want to do. Whether you want to get some land or move out the country or whatever. Like, we got to be smarter than this. This is a window of time. By the time it hits your doorstep, by the time it's in your city or in your town, it's too late. Let's move faster. So I'm on a mission, and I'm going to complete my assignment to make sure that everybody who wants to shift their life and to move differently and to normalize $10, $20, $30,000 months. I just got off the phone with somebody who's in the doghouse. Some of y'all know this person. They're making the bank. As a matter of fact, $26,000 in January. Just casually. And she's like, okay, dog, tell me what to do next. What's the next play? Like, she's so locked in. And, hey, I'm doing my job. I'm sharing the information. Y'all, we can all be all right.
That's where I want to be.
This is what I'm saying. But when I'm like, tell me about your success. Tell me what you got going on. She's telling me all her systems. She got all her stuff. She don't play by her schedule. She said, my schedule is my boss. I said, oh, I never heard. What? This is how she said, I don't work for nobody, but you can't just, I don't have it like that yet. She said, I treat my schedule like my boss. I was like, damn. Snap. So this is why she made $26,000 last month. I said, okay, girl, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then she's got mentors. She done learn from the people in her industry. Like, she don't play about her, leveling up her skills and all that kind of stuff, which is why I'm so excited about social media mastery and like everything that I get to teach you guys, help you guys with. Because if you could just learn, like, this is not the time to be creative. I took a screenshot. I be seeing this stuff online. I be like, oh, that's such a good quote. And then I forget all about it. It's like in my phone. But basically it was saying like, this is not the time to be like recreating the wheel. It was like, you better find, yeah, that's what I say. Find somebody who's where you're trying to go and just do that. How about you do that? But I'll see if I can find the quote. I can't find it. Of course I can't. But the point was like, we're too busy trying to be cute and try to be deep and try to be creative. And it's like, no. I want you to find something that's working and go replicate that. Like a recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be like, well, I'm going to be it's already been invented. It's like, no, I'm going to make cheesecake. And I'm going to do what I think cheesecake should have in it. No, we find a recipe for cheesecake and we go do that. And then once we know how to do that, then we can start moving and adding and changing stuff or whatever. Like, it's a basic fundamental, take what's working, learn it, develop it as a skill, embody it. She said she had to make the shift from, I was like, oh, that's the law of detachment. She's like, no, I listen to your lives. She said, I be listening. She said, you don't see me. I didn't know. She be going to pulling them off of YouTube. She be listening. She said, I was just listening right now before we got on the phone. Oh, okay. She said, yeah. So she said, I learned the biggest shit that I learned. She started a year ago, by the way. February. She gave me her numbers. February 2025, she made $2,500. January 2026, $26,000 a month. She said, so I learned I had to make the shift from getting on the phone with potential, customers, whatever, and feeling like, oh, like she said, you know what I learned? I said, they're not evaluating me, I'm evaluating them. Oh, I said, oh, that's the law of detachment right there. She said, yeah, no. She said, I need to see if they're a good fit for what I'm doing and what I'm building. Because this is not for everybody. And I recognize that. She said, when I made that shift, it became so much easier. All the phone calls flowed a lot easier. She knows her numbers. I'm always saying we got to run our business by the numbers. She said, if I have this many people who've expressed interest, she went down the rabbit hole. She said, 25, I sent them she got her CRM set up. It'll automatically send them a text or a message. Hey, I saw that you were interested. Would you like to book a call? It's like a discovery call, basically, a little 15-minute thing. And she gives them an option for like 2 to 3 days out, not like 2, 3, 4 weeks out, 5 months out, and all that kind of stuff. 2, 3 days. If they respond, she said out of those 25, 15, get the calendar link, they'll book themselves for a 15-minute call. Then out of those 15, she'll actually speak to 10 of them. And out of 10 of those, she said she's closing 4 to 6 of them. She knows her numbers. She's doing the thing. She's got a schedule. And all of this, mind you, is just in real life, getting on the phone. Another person from the dollhouse, by the way, who I hope she's healing and feeling better. She pops in from time to time, but she went through some health stuff. She said, yeah, doll, because when I started working with her daughter's also in the dollhouse and her son-in-law. Y'all, if you know. But anyway, she said she was trying to do this thing for a long. I don't tell people business, so I'm not saying who it is. But anyway, she said she was trying to do this retreat, before I got involved. And now, fast forward, she's talking to humans, reaching out to people. She said it's working. She said people are excited about the retreat. I was like, oh, hi. This is what happens when we shift our energy, y'all, and start doing the thing. Like, it's not like that was a fun session. That was a fun time. I'm not here to be your motivation. That's supposed to come from within. Okay. Although if I am that, wonderful. But I want us to grow past that because that's an internal thing. What motivation is fleeting. Motivation is like a spark. It's like inspiration. It's like, boop, it comes, but it also goes. Motivation is like serendipity. It's like things you can't control. But what I want is us to shift our identity. Like, why do you clean up your house? Why do you brush your teeth? Why do you comb your hair? Why do you cook for your family? Why do you do things that you do every day? It's because it's who you are. It's a reflection of who you are. So I want us to be the version of ourselves that has broken up with our old identity so we can learn how to get paid to exist. She was like, I still go. She telling me she's all excited about her date she going on this past weekend. She got time to go out of town. She just got back from Jamaica. She goes on take a walk. She'll take a 2-hour lunch break. She's doing all of that and still making this money. It's a beautiful thing. So we got to learn how to she's cracked the code, in other words, of having new business people who are raising their hand and saying they're interested coming in the door. So that's what we're building here, is getting a system, an engine, where they come in the door with intentionality, not like I hope I get a new client or new customer to talk to today, but like it's intentionally, I'm doing this on purpose. And every time I do this, get this many people, and out of this many people, I get this many people, and out of that, this many come through, and out of that, I'm gonna sell this much. Because once we know those numbers, now all we have to do is scale it. If that was with 25 people, let's do 100 people. If we're making that much money target with 100 people seeing our message, what if 1,000 people see it? And social media is still right now the best way to leverage free tools, literally free tools, and do that. I know for 100% fact, everybody on this phone can cross the $10,000, $20,000 a month threshold in your business. Yes, you can. I want to show you how to do it. So today, it's day number 61 of this 100-day challenge. I appreciate y'all being here. I see you on the stream, and shout out to y'all because I can't see who it is, but I see that you're there. So we talked yesterday a lot about the shift from hustle and just, oh my God, what's happening? Oh, I had a great conversation the other day. Oh my God, to systems where it's like I wake up, this is what I do. Let me check my system. Let me check my account. Let me see, my email. Let me see who came in today. and then let the system go. Let me take each person to the next step. There should be like a process where I got 10 people in this step, 10 people in this process, 10 people over here. And I got my clients over there. They're getting nurtured. Like everything is everything. It should all be flowing with intention, not like, I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know what to do. Like, I want us to graduate from that. So, not hustle, systems. And with that comes everything else that we want or think we want. Because you have to become a different person. You can't be the person that's just floating around. But you want your money to now flow like consistently. That means we have to show up consistently because it's just a reflection or an amplifier of who you actually are and how you're showing up. Okay. So yesterday we talked about that for a long time. Today, I want to see if I can give you some prompts to help you use AI to go a little bit faster with this process. Okay. So everybody kind of, if you got your notebooks and stuff, this will be a good day to do your journaling as I'm talking. Okay. And if somebody want to come off mute and share your example, that's great. The first thing we want to do, if I just met you now, if I didn't know you at all, I would ask you, what's your idea, your business idea? What's your hypothesis on what it is that you're selling? Like, what do you sell in your business? So you can write that down. So yesterday, I started making a spreadsheet. And so I could give you these categories. If you want to make one, that's fine too. Maybe I could pull up, that might be cool. Maybe I'll do that so you guys can visualize what I'm saying. Yeah, let's do that. Give you a screen to look at. Because we just need to take all this brilliance out of your head and put it into a system, and then you can make this money and go ahead or take care of your family and move out the way. You know what I'm saying? Also, by the way, if you know anybody who is like, yeah, I'm building my business, or, I would like to start a business, but, I got responsibilities, I need some income right now, type energy, I have a new opportunity that's just now, I finished the vetting process that I can put somebody in where you'll have the same freedom and flexibility over your schedule, but a lot of structure, and actually start to make money for real. So if you're interested in that, or somebody who might need that kind of support, single moms, people who are working from home, about to have a baby, just got laid off, about to get laid off, nervous about losing their job, or just want to make extra income on the side. If you're a detail-oriented person, you are willing to learn new skills and to do bare minimum things to invest in yourself, it's a great opportunity. So let me know if you are somebody is interested in that. Okay. Let me share my screen with you guys so that I can help you get these ideas out of your head, and let's make a plan to make some money today. Is that fair? Let's do it. Let us do it. Here we go. People on stream should be able to see. I'm going to zoom in for you just a second. And Zoom, here we go, Zoom. Okay, everybody should be able to see what I'm looking at. And I'm going to zoom in just as much so it won't be too difficult for my streamers over here. All right. So now, I want you to think about what it is that you're actually offering people. And so when I say, what is your business? Like your idea. Before you met me, you would have said, I'm in real estate. I'm a lawyer. I'm an engineer. I am a doctor. I have this wellness product. I sell shea butter or whatever. But because you know me and you've been doing this work, we're going to start with problem language. Okay. So what problem do you help people to solve? And even more specifically, you can actually start to put categories of problems down below. So let me give an example of what I mean. I hear a lot of people say, I need help with my time management. elephant diet. I don't have no systems. I would love to have some help creating some SOPs. I heard somebody say that yesterday. You know, uh, productivity. People deal with procrastination or whatever. Okay, that's a whole like bucket, if you will, of problems. Does that make sense? So, what does that look like for you? Name at least one category of problem that you are in business to solve. When I did this exercise yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I actually had 7 different ones. Okay, so the second one I'm going to put right here just for example today. People say, I need to make some money. They say, you know I have something good, but I don't have enough people coming in who want to buy the thing. They need more leads. Lead/clients, let's say it that way. Like I know what I have is good. I know once I get in front of people, I can add the value, but I don't have enough clients. Basically, that's what I call flow. They don't really have a flow of new energy coming into their business. Okay, so let me, for the sake of this example, I'm gonna put that one at the top. But y'all can list all your problem categories. So I got like people want to stay in their ideas and their dreams, and I got a gift and a talent and all this kind of stuff, and I got to help them stop thinking like we're in high school and start thinking like a business owner. People say they need motivation and they want to talk about the frequency and all the quantum physics stuff. That's a separate bucket. People are like, I know I need to make some extra money because it's the end of the world, and they want to talk about economics and what should I do with my money and da 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 da. That's the whole Great Escape stuff. Some people are like, I'm leaving my job, or I just left my job, or I think I'm about to get laid off from my job because AI and I don't know what to do. I have a whole set of stuff about how do I make the journey from W-2 to revenue. People say, I don't know how to network. I don't know how to meet new people. I'm not good at communicating. Da, da, da. These are major skills that you need as an entrepreneur. So I have all that. All right. But for the sake of this exercise, okay, just flow with me. So what is that problem category? Somebody want to share? A problem that you're in business to solve for people?
I'll share.
Yes.
Okay, so what I said, I got to go back to my Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so I said, what problem do I solve? And I said, people spending too much money on clothes, individuals don't have enough time to thrift, their inability to coordinate their clothes, like from a stylist perspective, and then not enough money people don't have enough money to dress their children. So is that what you were thinking?
Yes, very good. Very good. Excellent. Anybody else want to share? But that's what I'm talking about. I just want you to get in the head of the folks, and that goes down this left side. All of those are like little buckets of ways that you're solving a problem. Okay. Then, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna put free value. In this next column, we just want to figure out what exactly, how do I speak to that immediately? Like out the gate. How do I even, if somebody says, oh, you help people with entrepreneurship? Yeah, I teach entrepreneurship. Oh my God, because wow, I'm really just struggling. I'm not making any money. So I like what Alfreda did. She actually used the language that they're using. So that's what you want to know or be referencing in this problem category. So I'm just not making any money. I've been in business for a while. That's usually where I meet people because they don't have any concept of like the steps, the process, the roadmap that I teach you guys, right? So they're just like, oh, I've been in business for a while, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just not making no money. I need to make some money, girl. Or it's like, I know my product is good. I made some sales here and there, but like, I just need more clients. I just need to flow. Like, I need more like leads. I need more people checking for me, looking for me. I need more customers. So typically what they want to do from that point is if they say I need more money, they either say they think they need an investor or a partner, somebody to come in or a grant. And typically what they're going to do with that money is what? Go pay their bills, not invest in the company, which is unfortunate and incorrect. But anyway, Typically, that's what it is. Or they think they need somebody to come alongside them so they can have a bucket of money to do what? They're going to pay for ads. They're going to pay for flyers. They're going to pay for fancy websites and logos that they don't need. They're going to pay for a rebrand for $27,495, but we don't have no customers yet. They're going to pay for a marketing agency. They want somebody else to come and figure out how to go get them some money. I just need some money. Okay. So in this instance, what I have to do, what I offer people in terms of free value, and I'll tell you what this category represents in a moment. But what I offer is, like, let's say I was doing workshops. Okay. Let's say I was doing that on a regular cadence, like I used to do at the place that should not be named. First thing I do is teach people the entrepreneur's roadmap. Because it's like, yeah, nah. Because when I start asking basic questions, okay, what you need money for? Well, I'm just behind, you know what I'm saying? I've been in business all this time. I thought it was going to be easy. You know, I'm running through my savings and now, da, 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 da. So they don't have enough money to cover their basic needs. So it's not just that they're not cash flowing, but they also don't have any money to cover their basic needs. So they need something to stabilize them. So what I probably would also do is suggest that they go through my W-2 to revenue program, because they might be a candidate to go get you a source of income that you can make some money now while you figure this business thing out. But I could teach them and show them that for free. What else could I do for free at this point? I could say, well, tell me a little bit more about your business. As soon as I ask that question, 99 times out of 100, they do not have a 5-star pitch. So I can give them that and say, okay, this is what you need. You need to come over here because the way you talk about your business, the work that you do, da, 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 da. So problem, then you got to give them a principle that leads them as a bridge to a solution. Okay. So if you telling me I don't have no money, I don't have no people in my business, da, 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 the answer, obviously, the roadmap be mapping is all of this is in the roadmap, obviously. But then from my framework, which is the roadmap, everybody needs a framework. So I can explain my overall framework of how I work. You know, I work with thousands of people in 5 continents, same issue, same problem. I know I got a great idea. I know I'm smart. I know I got something, but I'm not making any money. So the first thing you got to do is understand principles. 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 And then once you get those principles, it's going to shift how you're thinking about this work. And then I can locate you, find out where you are. And then we can put the puzzle together, put the right inputs in place so you can go and make you some money. You know what I'm saying? So for the sake of this example, I would definitely show them the overall process of the entrepreneur's roadmap. I would find out what they've gone through, what they've been doing, what has worked, what hasn't worked. If they're at a workshop or something, I could explain this framework to them. If I was on a one-on-one, like a discovery call, some of you guys do discovery calls as your free value, you'll be able to show them a very clear path. Like when I talked to you, when I met you, you were confused and overwhelmed. Now I've just explained to you exactly, here's some value. You're going to walk away from me with this value, whether I ever talk to you again or not. When I talked to you and you said, oh, I'm not making any money in my business. And I said, well, what is your business? And you started rambling. And I was like, no. You need a 5-star pitch. If you can't communicate your value in a way that gets people to remember you, connect with you emotionally, and want to take an action with you, it's not going to work. Okay, there are actually 6 R's. You need to make sure you're checking all these boxes. You know what I'm saying? You got to check, eat those logos, pat those. Listen, I got a free workshop. It's online. You can take it on demand. Just put your email right here. Go in there and take this workshop. And when you talk about your business, talk like this. You're going to see a difference. People are going to want to take another step with you and do. Okay, cool. That's free. Get that for free. Or it's like, man, I need some money right now. Okay, look, I do workshops twice a week, W-2 to revenue. Just come over here. I'm going to give you the 3 mistakes that people make when they're trying to make money on their own. Like, you left your job. Yeah, I quit my job because I couldn't take that toxic environment anymore. Okay, so you done walked out your job, but you don't have any kind of skills. You're still operating like an employee. I got to teach you how to think like an entrepreneur. Okay, you still acting like a consumer. I need to show you how to create some revenue. So let me help you. Can you come? Put your email right here, do the thing. Okay, come to the workshop. Boom. So what can you offer for free value That's the next immediate, like solve an immediate problem. I'm just overwhelmed and all confused. I don't know what to do with my business. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. Okay, listen. Let me help you understand the entrepreneur's roadmap. Let's get on a call. Like Geico, 15 minutes can save you 50% more. Get on a 15-minute call with me. I'm gonna tell you exactly where you're on the entrepreneur's roadmap and what I recommend for you to do next if I were you. I mean, I'm doing this. I've been doing this for real. You want to talk to somebody who teaches this at Harvard? You want to talk to me for free? 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's do it. When you got some time. Tomorrow or the next day. Okay, great. Get on the phone. So what could y'all offer for free? Somebody give me an example. Because this is how you build your list. Go for it.
Yeah, I usually do a consultation, actually with every single client, because, and this will usually addresses their confusion. That's the problem category I have for this. So they're confused. They don't understand how the website works or how things connect. They don't know design. Basically, they're just in the dark and they're scared to make a move. So I offer a consultation just to get the breakdown of what they are frustrated with, like what's going on with their website, what are the priority of tasks that you would like completed. And that usually helps to calm them, and get them out of the confusion state, makes them feel a little bit better because they have someone who knows what to do with their website.
So let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. I know you're not having an issue with this, but just in general, just to anchor that, if you're talking to somebody, you're saying, okay, we need to get on a call. By the end of this call, you will have what?
By the end of this call, you will have usually, I'm trying to think what I do. You will have less confusion about how your website works.
Yep. So we want to clarify and anchor that, okay? Because that's going to help with the law of detachment. I want it to be so much value. They're going to walk away. If they never work with you, they never talk to you again. It's like, but she sure changed my whole situation.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, if you give them that and it's so obvious, then they're going to be like, wait, I need more.
Actually, that did happen with my bigger client. Basically, I met with her a few months before she even came back to me, but I was giving her options because she was confused about certain things. So I was giving her answers of where to look and what platform to use and things like that. I wasn't withholding information. I was really trying to help her, and she appreciated that, that I wasn't, just in it for the money, basically.
Yeah.
And she said she went with my recommendations, like after we had followed up months later and she wanted to hire me, she was like, okay, we did X, Y, and Z that you said in the previous call, and now we're ready for you.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, exactly. That works.
So giving people, maybe they leave with recommendations of, this is what you need to do. These are the areas I would focus on your website, like that.
Right.
After this call.
Okay.
So that you won't be confused anymore. Yeah, that sounds good. So it's anchored. Anyway, you're going to say something else.
I am creating I've already created it, but I'm going to publish a resource library on Substack, and it will have 3 different resources for people.
Very good.
So like a 2-minute website money check, inherited website diagnostic checklist, like if you inherited a website and you don't know what's going on, and then just a safe website update checklist because people are scared to update their websites.
Super dope.
Yeah, so I'm putting that all in one resource so that I can have it on my Substack and start collecting people's emails too.
Exactly.
In my community.
We want these emails, and I'm gonna tell y'all what to do with those emails in a second. So, anybody else want to share? So we got problem category, then some type of very clear free value that we can give them, a clear outcome and deliverable in exchange for their information. Email address is best. If you get their number as well, beautiful. Depending on how you're flowing and doing all that. Okay. This can lead to a discovery call, can lead to a webinar, can lead to free resources that you already have prepared, but you don't just send them the resource. I mean, obviously you can't send it to them but you don't just be like, go to my website. It's like, no, get their email address and then send them the link to whatever it is you want them to have. You're building a list. This is an asset. We're going from ideas to assets. So the way you talk about your work is an asset. and your list of people who are interested in that narrative and have raised their hand and want to know more is an asset. We're building assets. Okay. All right. So our financial capital, social capital. This is how you turn social capital into physical financial cash flow in the marketplace so that we can go and buy assets in the marketplace. Okay. This is how you do it. So problem category to free value. Then you want to define, I guess like entry level would be the way to define this. So this is something that's at a low price point. It depends on your market as to what low means. Some people, depending on your business model, could skip this part, but for the sake of being very clear, I'm defining what this is. Because typically, even if, let's say, okay, for example, the person I was talking about a second ago, what she sells is, it's not like, because it's a regulated industry, it's not like she could just be like, well, I'm going to make something and it's $25 and you could just buy this thing. She can't really do that, but she still has three tiers to what she offers, if that makes sense. So think of this like tiers, like, basic, entry level, kind of your core, your standard, what most people maybe purchase, and then that higher premium level or signature offering that you provide. Okay, that's what I mean by that. So entry level could be a book, it could be a workshop, it could be a class, $45, $25, $100, $200, just like something that's a no-brainer for your audience, for your community, to purchase. The people that you're talking to, it's like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Like, of course I have to have this. So again, in the example that I was using, it's like, okay, if you don't do nothing else, this is like the bare minimum. Like, you need to go ahead and take care of this. Like, come on, let's get you started. Let's just start right here. We can deal with the rest of that later, but right now you need this. So if you did your job in the free part, they're going to be like, yeah, I see that. And like I said, sometimes they might just be ready to jump straight over here to your core offering. But it's nice to have something that's inexpensive that they can still go ahead and. So for me, what I'm offering in this example is something that I'm about to release this week. It's the Yellow Brick Road. This is exactly, so step by step by step. So we're in the entrepreneur's roadmap, finding where you are on the roadmap. You got to have a pitch. If you don't have a pitch, what are we doing? And then I got to take you from those principles that I taught you in our first conversation, because it's going to change the way you think about business, to, okay, who is this for? Who are we even talking to? Who are we targeting? Your people. And then how are you hosting conversations about the problem that you help them solve? And then to a refined 5-star pitch in a product that they actually asked for, not you selling them what you want them to have, but what they asked for. Got to give the people what they want. Okay. And only then can we get to step 5 in the roadmap. So in between, I need to go on and pull this roadmap up. If y'all can't see it, let me know. But here we go. In between, where are we? Right here. In between 2, 3, 4. Right here. 2, 3, 4. See that? That's a triangle between people, problem, and this 5-star pitch down here. Imagine a triangle right there. That's the Bermuda Triangle. And that's where everybody falls off, completely falls off the road. They just disappeared. It was like, hey, I thought you were out here winning. I thought you started a business. Yep, they just disappeared. So like we don't know what happened. That's the Bermuda Triangle. So instead of that, I have to get you on the Yellow Brick Road, which is I showed y'all that the other day. It takes you from concept to content to conversations to cadence to confidence to credibility to community to culture, and ultimately you get all the way up there to cash flow. Culture capture cash flow. Currency. That is the yellow brick road. I use that example because just like Dorothy in the movie, they were looking for something outside of themselves. It was in them the whole time. Personal development and business development are the same thing. I got to take you on this journey. I got to get you to take these steps. I got to get you to put all these pieces together. But also, you're going to have to rise. It's a different version of you that's doing these things than the one you were when you started this journey. So the yellow brick road, and I don't know how much I'm going to sell it for, but it's basically going to give you all the little steps, some not the prompts per se, but all of the first do this, then do this, then do this, all the way through. How you gonna get on social media, all the things, but not like what's in social media mastery, but just like a PDF guide or something. But like it's more detailed than something I would give away for free, but it's not the full course, if that makes sense. So let's say I sell this for $100. It's like, here's the exact game plan. Go run this play. Boop, 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 boop. Now you're going to get stuck. You might get stuck. If you get stuck along the way, it's going to be all the way through the PDF. If you get stuck, you need some help. You need to get on the thing. You need to get on the call. You need to get in the course. And you get the full blown, AI can help you go faster. All the prompts are in the course like that. But here you go. If you want to completely do it on your own, figure it out. I spent $100,000 figuring this out. You want to go figure it out on your own, but you just need, give me the basics and I'll figure it out. There you go, $99. Something like that, okay? So somebody give me an example. What's your entry-level product? Something that you could just sell people right quick, but it's not like your core thing. So my core thing in this example, social media mastery. So what's the thing where they're still going to get a full benefit and experience with you? They're going to get a problem solved. They're going to get something in their hand. Also, I could give them my book that's here now, 7 Habits book. Which is whatever, $25, right? I could do paid workshops. So like a weekend workshop, 48-hour. I used to do those. People love those 48-hour workshop where we implement the whole Yellow Road thing together, done with you, let's say. I could charge what? Couple $100 for that. Okay. Somebody give me an example. What's your entry level?
This is Alfreda. I would say for me, instead of them signing up for the membership, I can offer them a one-time shopping service and say that could be $25 for my time and effort, but they still pay for whatever they select.
That's excellent. That's a great one. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe they're not ready to commit. Maybe they're not,
right.
Whatever that is. Yeah. Very good. Anybody else?
I have also my good day, everyone. I have my Lady Academy, a guided interactive journal, a book.
Yes.
It does have some interactive questions and they'll receive quite a bit out of the book. It's a workbook journal.
Excellent. So they are able to really get some value, but maybe they're not ready to go, do something that's more of a commitment, and boom. But you still can make some money though. Love that. Love that. Anybody else want to share? Tish had a good one for her free.
I was about to say I was unmuting, but
go for
yes, it. I typed it in. Well, providing the seller's guide for them on how to prep the home and including what to do and what not to do, and providing for them a cost versus value chart. If you update the kitchen, then really how much value is that going to bring you when you do it, or if you, those kinds of things.
That's dope. Yeah, that's really great. They'll get real value from that. Because again, you see that people can take these tools and they can go head on. They come in, but they're not just wasting your time. They're not just like getting all your value and taking all your knowledge without paying you anything. So it's a way to provide value, let people kind of still kick the tires if they want to, without making a full commitment. But you're not just out here working for free all day, every day. It's a great way to start a relationship and give people an easy way to get started working with you, if that makes sense. So we go from the entry level to what I'm calling the core offer. This is probably the main thing that most people had in their mind when they first started the business, what they thought they were going to sell. For me, I don't think about business that way. I really do think of the problem category, and then y'all know we had this exercise, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But we go through this very detailed exercise of what's the problem state, what's the solution state, what's your worldview, what's your mission, and we make sure all of that is lining up. So these things that we're offering them, the free value, the entry level, the core offer, is really just a bridge to get them. I could put a category over here if I wanted to the outcome that they actually have in mind. What is, because they didn't wake up in the morning and say, I would like to take another online course so I can learn about social media. Nobody wakes up saying that. But they do say, I would like my business to just be running on autopilot so I could just wake up and check my bank account and see how much money I made last night while I was asleep. And I'm saying, based on my worldview and my position as an expert, as a world-class expert in this space, I'm telling you what you need to do is clarify your mission and your message, identify your people, start talking like them, host regular conversations about the problem that they're having so they can see you as an expert, as a thought leader. And then they'll say, well, you seem to know a lot about it. What do you suggest that I do? Then you give them what? The free value. Well, first thing I would do is start right here. You need to do da-da-da-da-da-da. Give me your email. I'll help you out. Or get on the call with me. I got you. And then they do that. And it's like, oh, that was cool. And it's like, well, this is what we got. So I want you to understand that the entry level and the core offer is two sides of the same coin. The entry level is like, you just want to read about this and try to put the pieces together yourself. You want to meditate on it. You want a little short experience. You want a little, just kind of not surface level, but it's not as much of a hands-on, but you just want to be in the energy. Okay, boom. You got that. That's the entry level. If you're like, no, I need you, I want your expertise, your way of handling this. I want to know how you would recommend that I do this step by step by step. I want you involved in every single step of my application of this knowledge. Basically, they want your wisdom. That's what they get with the core offer. So it should be, the free should be pointing to the entry level, should be pointing to the core. And they're not like totally separate and completely different. They're leading them down a path, as you see, to the solution state. Okay. So, like I said, my core offer, y'all already know. If you're ready to go faster, you want to understand all the nuances of all the 7 different platforms, because I'm not teaching TikTok in this course, but the same thing that applies to TikTok applies for Instagram and Facebook, which is in this course, and Substack, LinkedIn, and your email newsletter, and YouTube, podcast, and public speaking or live events. A lot of those kind of cross over. You could do a podcast on YouTube. You can do the same thing you would do on X. You would do on Notes on Substack, and on YouTube has a post feature. So things that I teach you about those features, if you want to be on X, you can apply it to X, right? If you're doing live, speaking from live stages and you want to know how to sell from stage, that works. And you should apply that whether you're speaking at your own event, you're speaking at somebody else's event. So you can host your own events and take that same knowledge and convert that. So it's not just people are coming to my event and I'm not making no money, but people are coming to my event and I know how to talk about what's going on here in a way that makes, every time I host an event, I'm getting new potential business out of that kind of thing. So that's what's in the social media mastery course. In addition to all of the nuances from what I've learned studying these platforms over the years, I'm bringing every single tool, resource, best practice. This is how you do it, from how to structure your content, the titles, the visuals, the hooks, to the body of your content to make sure that people stop scrolling, they read it or watch it all the way through, and then they want to share it with somebody else, which the algorithm is looking for who's engaging and sharing, and they want to take another action with you. So your call to action, which would be your free value here. I'm training you exactly how to do it so that every time you get engagement and every time people want to take a step, so that every day, every week, you're looking at your email list should be growing. 10, 20, 30 people a day should be coming off of your rented platform on social media and onto your own platform, which is your email list. So I'm teaching you exactly how to do that. And what I'm most excited about is it has all these AI prompts. So everything that I'm teaching and telling you to do, or all these exercises that you've done over the months in your different notebooks about what to say and how to say it and what's your worldview and problem language, all these people are using stuff in your CRM and everything. This is going to pull all of that information that you gathered, all of that data, into formats. You're going to make some master documents, your About Me docs, your brand Bible, basically. All your messaging and all of that stuff is going to be inside of your GPT of choice by the time you finish this social media mastery. And then it'll have prompts to take it from all of this data dump that you just did to what are my hooks for the next, years worth of content if you want to do that much. And then turn that into a 60-second script, turn that into a 10-minute script, turn that into a LinkedIn post, it'll just automatically do it. And then you'll be trained in the nuances of it so you can make it apply to different platforms. And you can just post, and you'll know, not just post and pray. You'll know when you post that stuff, people are going to engage, people are going to raise their hand and respond, and people are going to leave that platform and come into your offer. And we're going to talk about what happens once they get on your email list in just a second. But it starts with your free value, your call to action. So boom. So that's my core offer. Somebody come off of mute and share what you have in mind for your audience. That's your kind of core signature offer.
Okay, for me, so I did some switching around as you were talking because I realized that my homepage blueprint that I created is actually in the money category instead of confused. So now for my entry level, I want to do maybe a resource for common website problems and fixes. I think that would help with confusion. And then the core offer is, it's normally basically my $200 membership for website maintenance. And then so some people are hesitant about the, signing an agreement or doing a membership. So I do have some clients where I do it invoice based on current needs. So they'll give me, you say I've worked with them before, like last year, but they need some updates this year, but they don't have the budget, or they just want to pay me, a couple $1,000s right now just to do all the things. So that is kind of the same, but it's in a shorter amount of time. If that makes sense.
Okay. So I would say, think about it this way. Your core offer is something that you will be selling consistently. It's something that you're going to base your projections on. It's something that you would kind of become known for. It's, if you had a perfect world, you would build your business around, versus something that you sell as a promotion, something you do as a one-off, something you do from time to time. If I decide to do a retreat, this fall, or, our big ball that we we're supposed to do last October, if I do that at the beautiful location we have for that down there, and we dress as our future self, our greatest, highest version of ourselves, and do the whole thing that I had in mind, because it was going to be dope. We might still do that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I'm not making money doing that, but it does mean that I'm not building my business off of that, if that makes sense. So,
right. So my $200 a month membership, I think, would be my core offer, because that's what I mostly offer people.
Yeah.
And then I'm figuring out how to automate it instead of sending invoices at the beginning of the month.
Because it could be this category right here that I'm saying, you know, premium, it could just be VIP. Like, again, you're only doing that for certain people. You're not going to go online and be like, hey, I'll just do random work for you at any random time. New people who I just met today, right? So that's like they get different special access to you.
Okay.
So that's more of that category. So you can have multiple things in this last category. So that would be like, for me, that would be like one-on-one coaching, which I don't offer no more. If I do, it's going to be thousands of dollars. That might be, like I said, some of these signature events that I had in my mind. It might be, you know, like something that I wouldn't, or this is another thing. Like if you have a main thing that you sold, maybe you have a high ticket offer that's $2,000-$3,000 for you to come in and do a certain thing. Then after you do that, maybe some people would then have an ongoing maintenance or monthly membership to kind of stay in the energy. So some people might have it that way. For me, that's what my membership is going to be, because after you've done one of these core offers, then people can, you know, make sure they get everything that's coming in the future. Like, dog, I want all of it. Okay, you need to get in the monthly membership kind of thing. Stuff like that. So that's what I mean by premium or VIP or ongoing. Like people should be paying a premium to get direct, just all day, every day access to just you and your brain, and you coming in, you know, consulting and doing all this kind of stuff. If it becomes something that's more of a consistent thing that you offer, just put it back in the core offer category as a separate, you know, you can have more than one thing over here, if that makes sense. So anybody have an example of a premium or a VIP option that they might be doing, considering in their business? I know, Tracy, for example, you're working on a retreat. Maybe that might become an annual thing or something like that for your community. Anybody want to come off mute?
Okay.
My goal. Oh,
go ahead, Tracy.
My goal is to make that like 4 times a year. So every quarter. And this year will be the first. And because I'm creating a system that it's sustainable by the people in that community in St. Jean, there are no outside people coming in outside myself and my mom that's cooking and my daughter that's doing the Creole translating. We're going to have everybody like self-sustained there. So hopefully that's something that we can build from, and maybe even lower the price as we create more systems that things are running kind of on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Perfect. Go ahead, Alfreda.
Okay, so with mine, I have, you know, the treasure chest, the one treasure chest or the one low level. Then the membership subscription is core. And then for the premium, because I get this all the time, more people want their items consigned because all of us got too much stuff, right?
Right.
So maybe my premium offering would be the thrifting service plus consignment. So I would take their items to consign, and then if they want new items, thrift as well.
Beautiful. Exactly. Because it's going to take a little bit more time. It's a little bit more bespoke. It takes a little more customization or whatever. Yes. And you're going to charge differently and probably higher for that.
Correct. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's perfect. So does this make sense, guys? But it's all leading people to, when you met me, you're like, child, I just need some money. I don't know what's going on. By the time you finish, you're going to have exact game plan and structure. You're going to also have a reset identity so that you can embody the energy of someone who is making money consistently. Right? So you can't, in my worldview, you can't have one without the other. All personal development and business development are the same thing. All financial capital is social capital. So you're going to have the exact game plan and structure, but we don't stop there. You're going to have your a system that's bringing new people into your into the world you're building consistently, and you're going to have a reset identity so that you can actually you have the capacity to hold all of that. Okay, that's the solution, because that's what people really want. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the version of yourself that's making, if you were making $500,000 a year, child, how would you be walking around? What would you be doing? How would you be dressing? How would you be moving? How would your house be set up? How would you be talking to people? How would you be conducting yourself? What would you be doing with your days and your time? How would you be structured? How would you be winning? How would you be talking to people? How would you be doing the thing? By the time you finish work with me, you're going to be that person. And you're going to know exactly what plays to run. And you're going to have consistent people coming in, so you always have a flow of money. So from problem state to solution state. And this is where I meet you on that journey. The free, the entry, the core, the premium. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions? Can you define the solution state, the outcome that you're providing for people? Because this now becomes the narrative that they go and say about you. Before I met Doll, I was all over the place. I didn't know what I was doing. I just, I make some money. I didn't know how. I couldn't repeat it. Some months I make some money. Some months I wasn't making any. I had these big goals and things, but I was kind of afraid to step out on it. And then by the time she finished, we went through all these processes, did whatever we did. And I'm stepping out. I'm doing things I normally wouldn't have done. I'm talking to people I normally wouldn't have talked to. I'm seeing that there's money and opportunity all around me. I couldn't see it before. I know how to structure my business and set it up. And I have systems in place where I know I'm going to talk to 100 people in a week. I know 50 of them are going to come in. I know that 20 of them are going to get the appointment, and 10 of those are going to buy. And I can predict my income now. I couldn't do that before. I can hire somebody to help me. I couldn't do that before. I'm living, I'm her now. You know what I'm saying? That's the narrative that they will say after they've gone through your process. So somebody want to say what that is for you, for your business, after you get all of this together? How are people going to be talking about you?
So, Dawn, at first, when you stated yours, what you put in F2, I was thinking that you were saying that all of us, regardless of what business we have, should have this solution outcome.
Yeah, I'm saying from the problem that people come to me about, if I was doing this for the dollhouse, right, which is I ain't got no money, I don't know what I'm doing, my lead, blah, 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 blah. By the time they get through going through my little stages and steps here, this is going to be the solution or the outcome that they get from working with me.
Okay, so we have to, so now I understand the question. This is more so of my clients after, say they've been with me for a year, then they would say, Bougerie Funds is providing me whatever, I don't know the right words because I wasn't thinking that, but that's what I'm supposed to describe, like how they will talk about me and my business.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Yep. And so that is, what I just put here is like, what I aim, the reason why we have these products, services, experiences, whatever all of these things are that we just came up with, is so that they get this solution and outcome. Then once they get that solution and outcome, you could even add another category with what they would say about me, about you after having gone through this process. And that's where you would put their language. So you see, it's just a game of concentration. So at the beginning, here's their problem, all their problem language. At the end, the solution that you provided them through your lens, and then their language, how they say it. And I just said mom, but I didn't type it. But yep.
Okay.
That's all you do.
Okay.
Anybody else want to share something regarding what's the outcome of all this? What's the purpose? Because again, nobody woke up and said, I want to go through a complete audit of all of my taxes or whatever. But they want freedom. They want to not be scared of their own finances. They don't want to keep hiding their head in the sand. They don't want to, be stressed or whatever. They want a home where their kids can grow up, be free and run around and, generational wealth. They want whatever that is. What is that for you and your customers? Somebody else want to share?
For me, I wrote it. Hold on. I wrote it down. It would be reduce confusion because they have responsive support for their website, a system for maintaining their website, and a trusted, reliable support source to ask questions. And then also they will have their tools integrated and functioning, because a lot of times that has to do with their money.
Okay.
So like their donations, they want to make sure they're coming in properly, credit card payment systems and all of that are connected.
Very good. So that would be F. So how would they say that though?
She helped me figure out what was wrong with my website and what I needed to update to make it run smoother.
And why does it matter? Get into the emotional language of why that matters.
It reduces their frustration, allows them to use their time to focus on their clients and their work, whatever their goals and missions are. And they just have responsive support so that, if something goes wrong with the website, their booking system is down, they don't lose as much money because they have someone to reach out to.
Very good. So the more you lean into that emotional language, that's gonna, just be your North Star through all the work that you're doing. But yeah, that's good. Anybody else want to share?
And ultimately, they'll be able to recognize having self-confidence in themselves from finally learning how to put themselves first. Because we're looking at living unapologetically guilt-free. As learn how to do that as an end result from going through the problem state. The problem state, of course, is that they feel guilty about putting themselves first. Many mothers and wives and business women that put more time into others and neglect themselves. So by the time that they go through the services that I offer, they'll have the confidence and the awareness, and it is a shift that they'll end up with, because now they can focus on themselves without the guilt.
Excellent. So guys, from this document that we just made together, you can run your whole business. So I got 15 minutes left. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I mean by that, and then we'll continue on tomorrow. You can literally run your business. So first things first, when you figure out the problem language, over here, the way we get to all of this is these 50 conversations that we're having, 5,200, using the Afro method, which includes a 5-star pitch. So basically, if you just do your big 5 every day, that's the simplest way to say that. If you do your big 5 every day, you will get all the language you need. Problem language, what people got going on, what they're struggling with, all the things. You'll have all that. That's also going to put you in front of real people, so you understand their solution, their outcome. What are they actually looking for? What language do they use? Okay. They'll also tell you what would be helpful? What's the next step that you need to take them on this journey from the problem? They just met you now. They got this problem. What's the first thing they need? Free value. The second thing they need. The third thing they need. If they get everything all together, and then ongoing or specialty items that you can offer. Okay. So all of that information, that data comes from you getting in motion with your big five. If you're not doing the big five, if you don't have a schedule, if you're not doing the seven habits or whatever, you're going to get tripped up along the way. But the big five will take you a long way in that. So that's in the resource guide, and I will put it in the chat before we jump off. Now, the free value, the call to action. So you're meeting people, you're going out and talking to humans. They're like, okay, I love this. You use the Afro method. And they're like, this is cool. It's like, well, it sounds like there's an opportunity. We need to have a conversation. You invite them to get on a call with you, whatever. They give you their information. Boom. What needs to happen next? You need your email sequence and some basic automation going here. Y'all give me just 1 second. Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Okay.
Yes.
So you want to get your basic automation going at this step. Okay. This is what is going to allow you to not have to worry about the handoff. Like, I met somebody and then nothing happened. Like there should be some system capturing all of that. So your big five got you started because you have a CRM. Now there are ways to. Okay, so basically, I'm also going to create a free guide that shows everybody how to do this for free. Because one thing people say is, oh, I need all this money. No, you don't. You can do this with the budget that you have. Okay. But you need a basic landing page where they can go, put the email in, either like your Calendly, so they automatically get booked on your calendar, or they put their email in, they automatically get this free thing that you're offering them, or whatever, right? So you need a landing page, some kind of automation happening, and an email sequence. So the email sequence is what I want to teach on tomorrow. There's like 4 to 7 emails that they should be getting, just to kind of get to know who you are, what you got going on, and what this world is about that you're building for them. So we're going to get into that tomorrow. I've talked before what needs to go on your landing page. But in the early stages, I'm treating everybody's website like a landing page. Obviously, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Your corporate website is different from a specific campaign, which is different from this, this, and this. So I'm saying you can have your corporate website and do all of that. But if your free thing that you're offering is not front and center on your corporate website, then you need a separate landing page, if that makes sense. So like if I hit your page and it's not telling me enter your email to get this free thing, that's very, very obvious, then we need a separate landing page. But I've taught the 5-star website and I have it typed up now, so I'll make sure that's in the resource guide as of tomorrow. So if you don't know what to put on the page or whatever, that goes there. But I haven't taught in detail this email sequence, so I'm going to teach that tomorrow. And then some kind of automation so that it's not like nothing's happening. So ultimately, you could do a lot of experimentation with manual, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody gave you their email and then you manually emailing them back and all of that. But pretty quickly, you want to get over to something automated, which includes like when the payment comes in, the email comes in, that something happens. You should be transitioning over to that, okay? In terms of the entry level, this is where you get your basic payment pages up. If you're not able to take cards online. You need to get you set up with your Stripe and your PayPal and your this and your that. Most people already have that, a Square or something, right? You need to have that already set up. And that's pretty straightforward, but I just have to say that that's where that comes in. I actually use Stand Store, but people Shopify, whatever it is, where they can go pay the money, school, you know what I'm saying? Then go pay the money and then just get access to the thing. This should be, again, something that's happening without you having to physically jump up every time somebody tries to give you some money. Okay. So we want to get all these things set up. Also back over here, you obviously have to have your social media set up, but that's in the big 5. Okay. Boom. So choosing a payment processor, basically. And how do you say that? Who's going to distribute your content for free? And again, the benefit of this entry-level product, I want everybody to take this as part of your homework. If you don't have something that somebody can pay you for, which you literally don't have to do anything, and it's a digital product, I want you to meditate on what that might be. What is something that you could deliver to somebody and literally physically not do anything? And you say, oh, but that's what I do. I sell a physical product. Okay, I want you to brainstorm. What if I could get paid literally without providing any service or moving my finger at all? Number one, what that's going to do is kind of future-proof your business just a little bit. Like if you're able to add value, but something happens where we can't be outside, like you can't go on site with your clients anymore. You can't, something goes on with the shipping or whatever, I don't know. But they can still get value from you. You can still transact. It's just something to think about. That's just something to challenge you with. Okay, same thing for your core offer. By the time you get over here, you'll know. You should have a very good sense of what your framework is and kind of how you are offering that to people and breaking it down into modules or an experience or something like that. There should be no confusion by the time we get over here. Okay, so the main things that we need to add that we don't have right now that I haven't taught on in detail is your email sequence. So tomorrow we're going to do that. And in the social media mastery course, I have this entire clarity. It's basically clarity to currency. Because any version of this solution that you provide is going to be currency. And there is basically a big, if I were printing them out, this would probably be a 200-page document, but this is like your brand Bible. By the time you put all this information, it's going to be one document with everything you need for your whole business in there. So the Yellow Brick Road is like a mini version of that. But that's what you get in the social media mastery. It takes you all the way from getting clear. I'll remember those questions I was asking you guys, like, what do you really desire? And getting clear on that, not a surface level answer, but your soul level. What do you really want to do? I saw a guy online yesterday who I'm like, that's what I want to do. He's walking around, just walking down the street and people recognize him because he wrote whatever this book was he wrote. And then he'd be like, I think his book is like, what's your dream or something? And then they'll say what the dream is. And then he'll just on the spot, he'll just like his team. They'd be like, okay, we're about to do it right now. They'd be like, what? He's like, come on, and he'll just go and like do the thing that's their dream, like immediately. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So that's the end game. So it's like, okay, what do you have to believe in order to have the capacity to really believe that that's possible for you, right? And then what kind of actions do you have to take? I guess I could stop sharing now. What kind of actions do you have to take to be the person that's getting those kinds of outcomes that match up with what you said you wanted and what you said you believe? If you really believe this, in other words, what would that look like? And then what needs to happen to give and take in the field, the energetic field around you? What tweaks and back and forth and movements do you need to make until you're getting consistent results? All of those questions, my point is inside this master document. Go ahead, Alfredo.
Okay, I was stuck on create the homework. Like you said, create something that you can sell in your sleep, basically. I'm paraphrasing.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my God, what is that? But then as you were talking, it's a young lady who's, I think her name is Tracy Irwin, but she's on Facebook. It keeps coming up on my Facebook feed all the time, where she talks about the 300,000 Black women that were laid off during this DEI. And what she teaches is that you whatever your expertise is, you should have an ebook. And so I was just saying an ebook would be that product that one could have and make money while they're asleep.
That's what I'm talking about. All the 150 secrets of a world-class thrifter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that. Like, how do you, teaching people things about, having an eye for things, or this is what you need to look for, whatever that is. Absolutely. Get your free money. This is free money.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. So an ebook. A lot of you guys could teach courses and have them up there online. Because once you get your social media going, I'm telling you, people, once they find you, then they're gonna go down the 7-Eleven for rabbit hole. They're gonna be looking for your videos. They're gonna be binge watching. I just found somebody online yesterday. I was like, and I just watched like 17 of her videos back to back. So then I'm looking in the links and she don't even have the links. I'm like, well, girl, you're not even ready for me to try to do something with you. I'm ready now. I want to do something. People will go down the rabbit hole with you. So if you have something that's like a no-brainer, let me go and get this book. Oh, let me see what she's talking about. And you'll just wake up and there'll be money in your account. And that's what I'm talking about. Because now that sets a new floor, a new zero in your business. Zero is not zero anymore. Zero is like $1,000, $10,000. You know what I'm saying? So challenge yourself to do that kind of thing and have it available, because what it also does is it'll let people kind of understand your thought leadership and your worldview, and then they'll be like, oh, this is dope. I want her to do this for me, and then still come back and be a client and do all of that on the other side of that. So that was a great example. Anybody else? Questions, challenges, comments, feedback, perspective, personal story time. What we got?
Dawn.
Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Dawn. I recently did a masterclass for Black Men, Radical Self-Love for Black Men masterclass. So I'm about to package up the recording and the journal workbook, and I could sell that as a digital.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Brilliant. Absolutely. And so the good thing is, you guys, when you have different things like this to sell, it's not like every day, every week. It's not like, hey, buy my signature thing. Hey, guys, and by the way, buy my signature thing. It's like, no, you can mix it up, change it up. Some of your call to actions on your posts, things on your social media can be like specific to one of your free tools. The guy that's my coach now for YouTube, the way he does it is he'll have this, he gives away so much value in his videos and stuff. And then he'll be like, some specific thing that he said, by the way, I have a tool to help you do that. You can grab it down below. Just all you need to put is your email address. You'll get that tool. But then below that, he always has the link to like his core offer. Because some people just be like, you know what? You the truth. What we doing? And they'll just click it and go ahead and buy it from him. But he emphasizes in the work, depending on the topic, he'll emphasize, whatever action he's telling people to take. So go get this free tool, or go check out this resource guide, or go over here, get on and do a 5-day mini course in your email. 5 days, you get a free email with me, depending on what he's talking about that day. and then put his core offers always down below. So, you know, you can use this as like your toolkit now, where you can constantly, you know, maybe 6 months out the year, like my friend who's doing a retreat in Mexico this summer, she, I guess she technically started promoting it last summer, really, but it was more like the fall maybe. And she started going heavy in January. And I think she said she's half sold out or whatever already. And, you know, so she'll push that through, let's say till, you know, till the slots are gone. Then she won't necessarily talk about the retreat anymore till like next, like basically the holiday season next or this year. But she will be talking about other things in her content. So it's just like I'm talking, I'm adding real value. And then it's like, by the way, if you're not familiar with the Entrepreneur's Roadmap, I taught a whole little mini video series so you could really get an understanding and diagnose, find out where you are. Or I have a quiz, you know, you could find out of the 7 habits where you need, you know, which areas you're strongest in and where you have weaknesses, and some resources to help you with that. If you want to get that, just take this quiz. Just go right here. You know, like I'm talking, I could point you to all these different, you know, tools and resources, but my overall core offer didn't change, right? It's just I give you different pathways. Go over here, get this. And then some days I could emphasize, and by the way, social media mastery, which I keep telling y'all because the price is going up as of Wednesday. So I wanted anybody who wanted access to it, just make a deposit and we'll figure it out. Like if you don't have the $500, okay, fine. But that way you'll get access to it without having to, now I got to find $1,000 instead of $500, but I can still get you there. So if you missed that, then maybe you could get the Yellow Brick Road book, and that might help you go a little bit faster. But anyway, the other thing I just said, and I wanted to emphasize, you can do quizzes. Quizzes and assessments count as free value as well. So like helping somebody figure out where they are on a journey that you've defined, helping them, you know, diagnose, you know, certain things, walking away with a clear understanding of, you know, if there's, you know, a spectrum of this problem and now they know exactly where they are. People in this stage usually need this. So I have already created a quiz for the 7 Habits book that's coming out this March. Happy Women's International Business Month, y'all. But I'm about to finish a quiz on the Entrepreneur's Roadmap that people can take a free assessment to see where they are on the roadmap. And I'm working on a game board, a board game for the Entrepreneur's Roadmap, which would be like I guess like an entry-level thing that people can buy. But it's going to take you through all these processes and procedures, you know, because people just need different ways. Some people learn by listening, some people learn by reading, some people, you know, you just give them all these different experiences. It's a world that you're building for them. Does that make sense? But it's guiding them from the problem state to the solution state. And they get to choose their own adventure. And you're just their trusted guide. And that's how you make all this money, all the money you want to make. And you don't have to worry about it. So this is very, very doable for you guys. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you exactly what to put in your email sequence and my recommendations on, you know, they keep creating new ones. So I'm not going to necessarily say don't use certain emails versus other in terms of email autoresponders. But somebody asked me that. They were like, well, I have Substack. Do I need an email autoresponder? And yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I'm going to show you how to do it even if you don't pay for one. If you just have Substack, I'm still showing you how to think about your email. But hopefully you're able to, because you can do your landing page. I would rather you do your landing page for free and pay for your email autoresponder. So I'm going to show you how to do that tomorrow, exactly what needs to go in your welcome sequence so that people aren't just like, oh, this is cute, but they never open your emails. Like, how do you get people to engage and actually really read your emails? I'm going to tell you that tomorrow. So anybody else, questions, comments, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspectives, personal story time. We are on a path. We're escaping. We're getting off the financial grid. We're escaping the matrix and taking back our power, because abundance is our birthright. You know what I'm saying? Why would I not come out here and be great? Why would I not? Why would I leave free money on the table? It's free money. It's free money. So anybody else got anything? Entrepreneurship is a revolutionary act, y'all know. Getting off the financial grid is not for the faint of heart. It requires a shift in identity. We're moving from hustle to habits, from employee to entrepreneur, from consumer to creator. And nobody told me the road was going to be easy, but guess what? It is simple. It is a recipe that you can follow. And I'm serving it up to you every day at 2:00. Y'all know we can check out the replays. I got people checking out the replays and they're making their money quietly, just quietly in the background, making all types of money. People hit $10, $15, $26,000 months out here. So shout out to y'all and everybody who's doing the work, everybody who's making the transition, everybody who's going through the mindset shift. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for being here. These replays do end up in the Dollhouse 2.0 now that I have my systems back up, because y'all would not believe if I told you I did all this and my computer was like totally down. You wouldn't believe me. So this has been me at a high productivity level considering my tech setup right now. But this is where you can get your interdisciplinary deep dive into this revolutionary act of entrepreneurship every day. Every day, at the intersection of neuroscience and quantum physics and history and current geopolitical events and all the things. And where are you going to find this at? Brought to you by a Harvard-trained historian and economist, data scientist, venture-backed founder. Y'all know I turned an idea in my head into an asset that they valued at 8 figures. You know what I'm saying? We know, like I said, business development, personal development, that's the same thing. So we're doing the inner work, but then we're matching it with the proper action so we can win at this game of entrepreneurship and start moving at the speed of money. So, if that's what y'all are into, that's what we're going to continue to do. So just remember, when your intuition speaks, when you get some knowledge like we got today, go make an appointment. So you got 2 pieces of homework. What can you sell for free? What can you digitize and sell where you don't have to lift a finger? People can read some content from you and go pay you some money and you don't have to do anything. Let these W's work for you. What can that be? Figure that out today. And homework number 2, make an appointment with yourself tonight or several days this week to actually complete the exercise that I gave you today. Don't just hear it, oh, that was cool, and then you go head on. Actually implement this so that you know what's the problem language that people are saying. When am I doing my big 5 every day? What's the free value that I can start to offer as a call to action so I can collect people's email addresses? What's kind of an entry-level product that I could sell, something that's a really no-brainer for people, $100, $25, depending on your audience, $200, $300. It's just like whatever to them to get them in the door. And then what can be, what is your core offer, what you thought you were in business to do? Every other program just focuses you right there. I'm giving you the whole spectrum, you know what I'm saying? So you can get this money for real. And signature things you're going to do one-off, things that are VIP, things that are, they got to pay for access to you. What do you have in mind for that? So that they can get the solution and the outcome, the narrative. What are they going to say about you when you do this work? Find time to work on that, work through that, develop that, and really get a grasp on it. This is your language. This is the heartbeat of your business. So if y'all are with it, I'm with it. Because if you tap in to the wisdom, this is what I was going to say, and I'm done. Rules, like the rules of business, like somebody want to tell you to read a business book or write a business plan, and this is how it's supposed to go, and they tell you financial projections and business model canvas and all this kind of stuff. These little books, rules that you get out of a textbook, that's for the collective. That's for the regular people who ain't making no money for real, but they sound smart though. They sound real corporate. They can go work for somebody else who's built a business from scratch. But for those who want to make some money for real, power and principles that I teach, that's for the game, this game of entrepreneurship. That's why I teach the entrepreneur's roadmap, because y'all know the roadmap be mapping. So we start with principles and I take you all the way to prosperity. So let's follow the roadmap, get in the game. So put it on your calendar, do what I said today, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Till then, I gotta go. We gotta go. I'm out.
Thank you, Dawn.
See y'all.